breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alert.
Maxine Waters' dirty secret out after what she did in D.C. 7 years ago surface. Congresswoman Maxine Waters is again proclaiming that she is working to impeach President Trump. During the Bet Black Girls Rock ceremony, the Congresswoman was presented with an award, at which point she used this opportunity to politically grandstand in front of a sympathetic crowd. Congresswoman Maxine Waters proudly and ignorantly said, "Not only will we resist you, we will impeach you, Donald Trump." Naturally, the crowd applauded one of the most corrupt politicians in Washington, D.C., who back in 2010 was charged with 3 counts of violating House rules and federal ethics code. Back during the financial crisis, when banks were running to the federal government for bailout money, one of these banks, One United Bank, a bank which Congresswoman Waters' husband owned stock, was in a dire financial situation, and Mad Maxine Waters used her position to make sure One United Bank got the money they were looking for. Had Congresswoman Waters not intervened, it's likely the stock she and her husband owned in One United Bank would become worthless. Susan Crabtree and Jordan Fabian from The Hill reported on these charges back in 2010. The House Ethics Committee on Monday outlined its charges against Representative Maxine Waters, who is accused of helping a bank in which her husband owned stock secure federal bailout funds. The committee charged the 10-term California Democrat with 3 counts of violating House rules and the federal ethics code in connection with her effort to arrange a 2008 meeting between Treasury officials and representatives with One United Bank. The panel said Waters, who sits on the Financial Services Committee, broke a House rule requiring members to behave in a way that reflects creditably on the chamber. The committee said that by trying to assist One United, she stood to benefit directly, because her husband owned a sizable amount of stock that would have been worthless if the bank failed. The committee also accused Waters of violating the spirit of a House rule prohibiting lawmakers from using their positions for financial gain, as well as a government ethics statute banning the dispensing of special favors. The delays, which Congresswoman Waters benefited from in her House ethics violation case, were courtesy of fellow California Democratic Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren. Congresswoman Lofgren delayed the hearing schedule and was responsible for terminating the employment of 2 attorneys investigating Congresswoman Maxine Waters. In the end, Congresswoman Maxine Waters was acquitted of the charges, but not before numerous delays from members on the committee sympathetic to her and several attorneys being fired because they were doing their job, and putting an actual case against a corrupt politician. One United Bank received $12 million in federal TARP money, even when another government agency ruled that One United Bank conducted business without effective underwriting standards and engaged in speculative investment practices. Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington has listed Congresswoman Maxine Waters as one of the most corrupt politicians in Washington, D.C., 5 times. Inside sources on the left who are well acquainted with Mad Maxine know she is anything but ethical or honest. Yet the DNC and the Democrat elite continue to allow Maxine a platform to show America how ignorant she really is. Keep in mind, this is also the same woman who thinks that Russian President Vladimir Putin is invading North Korea, praised Cuban dictator Fidel Castro by yelling "Viva Fidel" when Castro spoke at a church in Harlem, and referred to the Los Angeles riots as a rebellion. Congresswoman Maxine Waters' successful lobbying to get her husband's bank the bailout money they needed was not the only time she used her position to line her pockets with cash. Aaron Bandler from the Daily Wire, who enumerated 7 of the most significant gaffes in Congresswoman Maxine Waters' career, explains in detail the time the Congresswoman from California improperly used her political position. Additionally, in 2002 Waters attempted to pressure regulators to block a merger between the Family Savings Bank and FOB Corporation, to open the door for the Boston Bank of Commerce, the name of One United at the time, to merge with Family Savings. While the regulators didn't uphold her request, Waters' public campaign eventually resulted in the Boston Bank of Commerce merging with Family Savings into One United. Waters and her husband bought One United stock in 2004. Congresswoman Maxine Waters represents everything Americans voted against when they voted for Donald Trump. The fact that the left and Democrats in Washington, D.C., allow her to be their mouthpiece truly shows how far they have devolved. What they fail to understand is the more they carry on in this asinine manner, the more Trump voters they are creating for 2020. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.